Welcome back to The Real Deal. I'm your host, Kim Hollingshead. We have been having this little bit of a crazy episode today, right? A little cuckoo bananas. I mean, I was telling all the listeners beforehand about how I had a client who I really truly believe that AI made her believe that she was correct. And if you didn't know, I mean, I suspected that she was using an AI program to research this and to provide these answers. And the reason was just because of the way that the answers came across to me in the emails, that it was just so obviously not written by her. That, AI has a certain writing style. Like, you can just tell. And so I tested it myself, and I was putting the situation and the answers into AI, and it was giving me back answers that were almost verbatim exactly the emails that she was sending to me. If I didn't know this, I would look at this person and think she is absolutely cuckoo bananas. This is like psycho behavior. This is delusional. This is projection. This is, somebody's going to point out she's a narcissist. He's a psychopath, because of the way that people are behaving, that I truly believe is completely generated from this misunderstanding of what AI is, how it answers you. I mean, to the point where, like at the top of the show, I was telling listeners that, hey, it's giving people fake street addresses and fake purchase prices to generate completely fake comps. It doesn't tell you that it's fake. It doesn't say, hey, just as an FYI, I'm just doing this to like fill the gaps because I don't have the answers, but I've got to spit out an answer for you. So I'm just going to put in here what I think would be a really good answer. It doesn't say that. It's fake, that these streets and addresses don't even exist. It doesn't say that. So the person who's reading the answer may not understand what is real and what is not. This is not the purpose of AI. It is not a link to the God Almighty of the universe, and now you have the knowledge of the universe in your fingertips, okay? This is not like some Guardians of the Galaxy movie. This is a real world that we're living in, and in the real world, AI is just a language model. It is great for doing things like helping you be productive, helping you word a thank you card to somebody, but it is not going to give you the correct information, especially when it comes to something super complicated. But, like taxes, finances, I'm going to show you guys, we're running out of time today, but next week I'm going to show you guys another example of misinformation put out there about homeownership and mortgage rates, et cetera, et cetera. It's mind-boggling. The reason that this is so important to me is because I am seeing out here just an unbelievable amount of hatred. The reason that this matters so much to me is because I am seeing an unbelievable amount of hatred spewed at Erika Kirk right now. I don't care if you're a conservative or a liberal or whatever. The FBI and the DA and everyone has so much evidence that Tyler Robinson was a lone gunman and that he was the lone shooter and the person who assassinated Charlie Kirk. But if you were to look at the evidence, which they have not even released all of it, just in preliminary hearings, we're now seeing that they have video of him scoping out the university, which is 3.5 hours away from where Tyler's home is located, days before Charlie's event, that he was there on the day. They have a video of him before the shooting going up to the rooftop from where he shot Charlie Kirk, and then leaving and heading out into the woods. The clothes that he's wearing matches, shoes he's wearing, hats that he's wearing, it's all matching. And yet there is this mass conspiracy theory out there that somehow Erika Kirk or TPUSA or the Israelis, the Mossad, now we've got crazy stories out about how Charlie Kirk was a hologram and they had multiple Tyler Robinson lookalikes all over the campus. And the meanest, most horrible things said about a woman whose husband died not even a year ago. And if you can put yourself into her shoes, Charlie Kirk asked Erika, this is confirmed, that other people involved with TPUSA, that he asked her to continue the organization because she knew what to do if something happened to him. Why? Because she was his wife. And they had conversations about what would happen to TPUSA if something happened to Charlie. They had a contingency plan in place, and that Erika would know what to do. It is important to note and to understand there are a lot of people who would love to have control over that organization or would love to just see it taken out. So because of that, now we have people out here spreading conspiracy theories, claiming to have, quote, evidence that the Israelis, there's like Egyptian planes now who are following Erika. I mean, the theories are unbelievable. When we have actual proof to the contrary, how about we stop listening to people on podcasts who don't have any investigatory powers? They don't have access to what our government officials have. And why don't we go back to listening to the police and the FBI and the DAs who actually did conduct on-ground investigations, who actually look at text messages on phones, who can actually pull up CCTV video. And, and why don't we look at those professionals instead of like just thinking in our minds that, oh, this theory, that theory, and then using it as a justification to spew unbelievable amounts of hatred on a woman who doesn't deserve it. She has been grace-filled and has kept her mouth shut this entire time because she knows what the evidence is. They have shared it with her, obviously, as his spouse, they should. And she's just going to let the truth come out when the truth is supposed to come out. But in the meantime, she's being made fun of all over the place. And she is just, some people are telling her, why, judging her for every little thing that she does. Guys, this happens because we are so suspicious of those who are the authority and those who are in power. We think we know better than everybody else out there. Why? Because I have the internet on my fingertips. I want to say this, I think it's important for us to talk about how it's not just Google, but it's AI, it's YouTube, it's every form of media, X, I see it all over the place where people just say things. They just say things. They're not experts in a particular field. And then they just come out here and just say whatever they want to say. And we listen to them and we take their advice over the advice and the recommendations of people who are actually professionals in the field. And it has real world consequences. So, if we're in a relationship with somebody and, it's our husband or our wife and we get into an argument, should we be going to ChatGPT and putting in, oh, this is what happened between me and my wife today. What do you think? No, of course not. That's gross. I would never want my spouse to be putting our arguments into ChatGPT so that Chat can tell him how right he is about everything. Or I would never even disclose that on an AI program. But we put so much private information. We trust AI with so many things and we trust it with our lives to the point where it literally makes people act completely out of character and do and say things that they know it's not right. Deep down inside, they know that it's not right, but they're so convinced that they're correct about something, it almost makes them delusional. So we're going to tackle this on this program. We are tackling it. I am very careful to present facts and figures on this show because it's not just my opinion. I've been in this field for a really long time, and I want you guys to really be armed with the truth because there's a lot of people out there who are trying to fool you that buying a house is a bad idea and renting for forever is a good idea. Like, get out of town. Are you kidding me with this? There are so many people who actually believe this to be true. Next week, we're going to be joined by Jesse Alvarez, who's an incredible loan officer, and you guys are going to really enjoy getting to know him. And then in the week after that, we're going to talk a little bit more about this subject, and we're going to take a deep dive into some Twitter feeds, into some things I see on Facebook, YouTube videos, AI prompts, and AI answers, so I can just demonstrate for you guys that the answers that you're being given online, it just doesn't flush out when we take a look at the facts, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here at the new time. We are so happy to be here on Sundays from 5 to 6 p.m. on Super Talk WTN. If you're looking to work with a real estate professional or a lending professional, give me a call. I'll help connect you with some of the best. It's 615-257-0565. And I would love to hear your opinion on some of the things that we discussed on today's program. Give me a shout, 615-257-0565, or shoot me an email at kim@therealdealradio.com. Thank you again. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday and have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you soon.